Uh, so, what is your name and what did you play this event?
My name is Brian, and I played Paleo Frog, my favorite deck. Um, the night before, I had wanted to play Shadal Invoked, but I wound up not wanting to play because just kind of got boring. That's what I've been playing for the past couple of months, and I just wanted to play something different. And I was gonna try this spicy list, not so spicy anymore because people know about it. But um, let's just get to the profile. For the monsters, we got 3 Swab, 3 Dupe, 2 Ronin. Nothing special, just the Frog Engine to get your Paleos and your Toads up. And then I play 2 Absolute King Backjack. This is to recycle your traps. Not necessarily recycle, but turbo out a little bit more traps. This is played by a lot of people, but not so many people. But right now, with this build, a lot of people are playing it because it just helps you tutor out more traps, and it helps you just not lose as fast, because one of the problems that Paleo has is that it loses really fast if you don't have a lot of resources. But that's it for the monsters. You're only playing 10.
So, do you feel you were happy with the monster count, or do you feel like you could play something different?
I wouldn't play anything else. That's all the monsters I need. I don't play any spells, and then the main thing about the deck is the traps. So let's get to the traps. 3 Canadia, 2 Dynamicious, and then 3 Olinoids. These are the main traps that people play. What people don't mainly play, though, maybe a little bit of this, but they play 3 Morella and 3 Leoncolia. So this goes into the basic Paleo engine. I only play 2 Dynamicious because Paleo is probably the worst deck that utilizes Dynamicious, because usually you won't have any card in hand, because you usually do normal set 4. But Dynamicious, sometimes you want to keep a little bit of stuff in the hand and discard it, like if you open up a Ronin Totem or a Lost Wind or another card that'll bring up in the profile right now. But that's all I play for the Paleos. And 3 Leoncolia is not bricky at all, because in this deck I banish a lot. I banish my Paleos, my monsters, my Backjacks. I always recycle it. It always comes back. There's no use in saying it breaks, because it doesn't break. I never not opened Leoncolia and not used it. I always used it. And then the non-paleo traps, we have 3 Trap Trick, 3 Needlebug Nest, 3 Rise to Full Height, 2 Lost Winds, and 3 Transmigration Prophecy. So what I was talking about is, this is the spice in the entire deck. This is what helped me play through almost anything. I played Dragon Link twice, the same guy twice, and he went second. No, he went first both matches, and I still played through his board. I beat him in game 1, because what Needlebug Nest is, it mills the top 5 cards. That's really easy. You mill some Paleos, you summon them, whatever. But what Rise to Full Height does is, you can banish it from the graveyard, target a monster, and they can only attack that singular monster the entire turn. Even if that monster leaves the field, they can't attack anything else. So what you will do is, you'll either target a set monster that you summon off of your normal, or Link Karibo if you link off the Absolute King Backjack, and then you just summon your monsters because they can't attack them. And then in your turn, you just go get some resources, summon some toads, do something. And Lost Wind and Transmigration Prophecy, this was a meta call just for my locals because of either Drytron, Dragon Link, or anything that happens in the graveyard. I would not cut this, I would not side this, I would not change this. It helped me with Dragon Link. Whenever they attach with Boral Savage, I just shuffled back both of their Link monsters back into the deck. And I didn't play any Drytron, and I played against I think it was Monarchs. I used this against Monarchs, so every single time I saw this, every single time I used this, and it was good for me. And the counters and the continuous traps, 3 strike and the 1 order. So these help me go second, because what I would do is I would set that and a Needlebug Nest. And against Dragon Link, I said Chainlink 1, activate Needlebug Nest, and they were like, oh, Boral Savage, okay, Chainlink 3, strike. And that was the end of the chain. They didn't have anything else to follow up, so I got my 5 mils, and I got to remove monster off of their board. A lot of people were playing infinite permanence instead of these 3 strikes, but I prefer the strike for going second. I played a lot going second in this tournament, and I expected to win more die rolls, but this strike helped me. And then the Imperial Order, obviously, for back row hate. And then for the extra deck, 3 Toad, the best boss monster, my favorite boss monster, probably the best in the game, maybe, but 2 Opabinia and 1 Animalocars. Opabinia is easily one of the second best cards in this entire deck because it's unaffected by monster effects. I've baited out Ash and Borreload Savage with this alone, and I detach to search, and then they just I just keep searching. They're like, "What? I negated it," and I say, "Well, no, it's unaffected by monster effects." And this is easily. I wouldn't play this at more than 1, but this clears everything out because this cleared out Abyss, the synchro. What's the monster?
Hot Red Dragon of Bridge. Abyss?
Yeah. This cleared out Hot Red because I can pop a face-up card, and it's unaffected. This card is unaffected, and I can pop Boral Savage, pop the Abyss. They try to negate it. It just won't.
Yeah. So all the Paleo monsters and traps are unaffected by monster effects, right? So if they try to negate it with Hot Red Dragon Abyss or Border Savage Dragon, they just can't.
Yeah. So a lot of people have tried to pop this with. I had one Dragoon try to pop one of these, and I told them, yeah, it resolves, but it doesn't get popped. The tournament on Saturday, a lot of people try to pop or move these with monster effects, but they're just unaffected. That's what one thing that people don't know about it. But I wouldn't change this. This is the best ratio. This is my favorite, 6 cards in the entire extra deck. This is what I use the most. And then for a little bit of an engine, I played 1 Sky Cavalry, Downer Magician, and then 2 Zeus. I used this a couple of games, a couple of matches. I wouldn't cut it. This Zeus didn't come up, but I wouldn't change it. I might test it a little bit more, but the Zeus didn't come up. The second one didn't. But I might keep it because, I don't know, Dragoon.
Yeah, you never know when you're gonna have a need another Zeus. They reveal their board again.
Yeah, but I didn't. Plus, the Paleo monsters are unaffected, and when you Zeus, it won't clear them out because they're unaffected by other monster effects. And then the only links I played: Link Karibo, Phoenix, Unicorn, Borreload, and Access Code. The only ones that I needed, Access Code, I went through once. I used this twice. I used these once each, and then Link Karibo was probably the only link I used almost every single game, because I just link away the Absolute King Badjack, and I get my stack, and then on their turn I get to set a trap.
So with the Link Karibo, can you rise to full height it, and if they try to attack it, you just tribute it, and they cannot attack during their turn anymore, right?
Yeah, that was the combo. It was link off the Backjack, Link Karibo, try to get the rise to full height in the graveyard in any way, shape, or form. If Link Karibo is still on the field, rise to full height it, remove it from play, or tribute, make their attack 0 and they can't attack anymore. Then I'll resolve my Paleos and summon them, and I have 3 or 4 Paleos on the field, and then I just go off from there. And then for the side deck, I'm playing 1 Gamma Seal and triple Lava Golem, and then 3 Inspector Border. So I started with triple Golem and 1 Gamma Seal. I was really debating on doing double Gamma Seal, but I just decided I only need 3 of these and then 1 of this. This because I can discard it from the hand for swap to special summon for a Toad. And Inspector Board is probably one of the best normal summons that I can play in this deck, because I can play around it. And with a Dragon Link in Game 3 on round 6, I believe, I put this down. He didn't get to play, and I did. He put a Link, and then I would get 1 effect off. He just wasn't able to play around it. But I can. This deck can easily play around Border.
So, Inspector Border, how many people did you see their soul leave just because you play Inspector Border?
I played this against Dragon Link, and then I played this against Tri-Brigade, but their Fractal boosted by Tenki got over it, which kind of sucked. And then for traps, double Storm Duster, triple Anti-Spell Frigates, and then triple Judgment. And these are pretty self-explanatory. We have a Mystic Mind player. I kind of needed my second, third, and fourth Imperial Order. I was debating do 2 of these for another Gamma Seal, but I maybe should have done it because I kind of didn't see this at all. It is just the luck of the draw. And then Solve Judgment, pretty self-explanatory. I only activated it once the entire tournament.
So do you think Heavy Storm Duster is better than Cosmic in this deck?
Yeah, because anything that activates your traps is better than anything that doesn't. A lot of people try doing Harpies in the side, and a lot of people that test Paleo say that anything that removes spell or trap is better, but I just think that anything that triggers your Paleos is better than something that doesn't.
Yeah. So you were mentioning that you played against Dragon. What were your other matches of this tournament?
I played Dragon Link, I played against somebody with Structure deck, I played against Monarchs, and I played against a Grand Magi player. I played against Mystic Mind, and he decided to just fold against me because I have 3 in-archetype MSTs, and he thought I was main decking Heavy Storm Duster, but I wasn't, so he just kind of scooped it up, and it didn't matter. Plus, I have Dynamicious to banish his Mystic Mind, I don't have to pop it, and round 6 of the top cut, I played against the same Dragon Link player. The first round, he wound up getting me because I didn't have anything to negate his Red Ice Fusion in the third game. But the second time we met, I wound up overwhelming him. And then my last round was against Tri-Brigade, and I drew kind of bad. But Tri-Brigade was really hard to play against because they non-target removal, and they're just so consistent. And they just plus off of everything.
Do you think you would have changed something about this deck, or do you like how it is now?
I maybe would have changed the extra deck and the links, but maybe the extra. But other than that, I wouldn't change anything at all. Everything performed really well besides the extra. I kind of really relied on my main deck. The side deck didn't really come into play besides maybe 1 Judgment and the Inspector Border, but that was about it.
So do you have any last words, any shoutouts, any thoughts?
Shout out to Benji, the first place winner, getting the Shadow Mat finally. And shout out to Aldo and everybody else at the shop.
All right. And that was Brian with the Paleo Frogs, and I hope to see you again another time.
Thank you.